Command and Conquer literally the entire campaign over and over again.
Command and Conquer's fun though. Like that's a good
Yeah,
game. Like it's an enjoyable, good experience. With that being
Yeah.
said, though, welcome everyone to session 11 of Mechwarrior Destiny, Salvaged Destiny, and Mechwarrior Destiny actual play, run by myself and 4 super cool dudes. Well, 3 super cool dudes and an Aaron, as is tradition. There it is. All right. But with that being said, as is the statement I always make, we've got a new overlay. We've got 2 overlays actually that we're going to be working with today. We've got our battle overlay and we've got our strictly RP overlay. I got some feedback from the community. I've been trying it out, and the feedback since trying it out has been pretty good. So we're going to see how this works out, but we can see all of their beautiful smiling faces. We're going to go around the table. We're going to have everyone introduce themselves, and then we're going to dive right into the last scene where we left off, which was them meeting with an old, I hesitate to use the word friend, but an associate of a certain Willow. But let's go Lawrence, Callum, Willow, and Cyprian. Introduce yourselves and we'll dive right in.
I'm Lawrence. Well, technically hourly B / whatever. And yeah, I'm the warrior set of the mercenary lance and kind of tutor to the younger mech warriors. I apologize for any talking happening in the background. I'm on a family vacation.
How dare you spend time with your family?
Dare you exist outside of our little micro world that is Darewolfden? How dare you? How dare you?
That's it. I can't. I'm out. I can't play anymore.
Yeah, I can't. Immersion ruined. That's
Nice
it.
haircut, Strom.
Okay.
Dude, that looks fucking great, man. It's like nice little that fade in the back. That looks good.
He actually walked away too. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that commitment to the bit.
He leaned into it.
You gotta really. You gotta love it. But yeah, I guess I'm next. So yeah, hey guys, I'm Aaron. I'm playing Callum, the sort of out in front guy. I'm the one who dances in rain without getting wet. So most of the times. Other times I get my ass shut off. But we'll see how today goes. Outside the mech, I'm leaning towards getting shot a bunch.
Ass and shooting it off.
Ass off and shooting. Yes.
Like
Not
that.
necessarily in that order.
I like it. I like it. Willow.
Hello, everybody. I am Strong Plays Willow. Willow is definitely he thinks he's definitely the star of the show.
Isn't he?
I mean, yeah.
I thought we were all working under that impression anyway.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. It's Willow very... I'm not going to say Willow's right all the time, but man, does he think he is.
Your focus determines your reality. So that's...
That is an accurate statement. It does determine your reality. That's good. Speaking of realities, Cyprian.
Hi, I'm Steve. I'm playing Cyprian, who in a mech, he is Steel Rain, all the missiles. Like literally can't find a mech with more missiles on it. So
yeah.
That sounds like a challenge for Aaron, and if anyone's up to the challenge, I think Aaron is. That's all I'm saying.
But how many Spec Marines?
Well, I mean, they're coming squads of 20 now in Heresy.
Shut the front door. 20?
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And I am, of course.
But yeah.
I'm, of course, Darewolf, the Game Master. And I'm super excited to be here. As always, this is just a good group of dudes. It's been a lot of fun. We're going to see where this goes. So, when we last left off, our intrepid, as I like to say, intrepid mech warriors, you all had responded to a message that was sent to Willow. And that message was from an old contact, one Karina Mad Dog DeFrancisco. She is the leader of a completely legitimate, by-the-books, upstanding kind of organization known as the Vul'e. And if you can't tell, I'm being heavily and highly sarcastic. However, we're going to open our first scene literally right where we left off, which was near the top floor of a warehouse. And we've got all of the primary mech warriors here. We have everyone there. You've just shuffled into an office, and this Karina has mentioned that she has, she's calling a certain debt due. And Willow, maybe if you'd like to take a moment just to kind of fill us in on what that debt was. Why has she been able to really, how do I put this, maybe manipulate you a little bit? What exactly happened?
Yeah, so let's roll back time about 16 years or so to a much more turbulent era in Olantia, where two of the most powerful crime syndicates on the planet and potentially in the system were vying for control over the hotbed of profit that Olantia represented in the system. And suddenly came on the scene a third player, a smuggler who had ambitions beyond her sight, but she made it work, and it threw the balance of power all out of whack. And for years, there was a bloody conflict on Olantia. And Willow, being a very, very young boy during that time, lost important people to him and decided that any price was worth escape from that existence. And so he managed to negotiate a deal, and now he is where he is.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So we open our scene as stated, just what we see, with the four of you having shuffled into a small but very well-appointed office. It is very clean. It is very crisp. TNX, thank you so much for the sub. I really appreciate it. But we see this room, and imagine, if you will, everything is very black and white. It's very clean, crisp lines. There are very small pieces of art, very impressionist styles of art that you would see in this room, like maybe a little glass like triangle or pyramid. You'd see, fake plants, but they're all made of like blown glass, and everything is, again, this black and white. But she herself is just a juxtaposition of what the room looks like. She has this bright red and yellow hair. She is wearing a leather kind of gray and black jacket. She has this black halter top on. Her midsection is showing, and then she's wearing a set of these kind of low-rise black jeans. And as you enter in, she has this mischievous, this almost kind of a wicked smile on her face, and she addresses Willow. It's so good to see that old promises still hold true. I have a mission for you. Consider your promise, your debt, being called due.
Yes. What's the job?
Well, shouldn't we get proper introductions out of the way first? Who are these friends that you have with you? The angry one in the corner there, looking very serious. We have the one that looks like he doesn't want to be here at all. And she gives Cyprian a little bit of a wave. And then we have, did you bring a knuckle dragger with you? And she notices and makes direct eye contact with Lawrence.
First of all, I'm the one who's allowed to make fun of Lawrence. That's something that needs to get set down. And that is his name. That is Lawrence. His specialty is a lot like those goons you have out there. And then Willow will point over his shoulder at Cyprian. He's, he knows what he's doing. And that's Callum. And he knows what he's doing, but he looks a lot meaner.
She glances to each of you as Willow does a brief introduction, but she then locks her eyes on Callum. This one here, he seems to carry a bit of a chip on his shoulder, doesn't he?
I'm sure it's a sentiment that you can relate with.
Oh, I carry no chips. Unless we're playing poker. I do love a good game of poker. Do you have time? Perhaps we could sit down for a hand or two after everything is concluded.
Maybe. I wouldn't count on it.
Well, I suppose we should get down to business then. And she will take one of the monitors, and it's on a swivel, and she'll just kind of give it a little tap, and it spins around, showing one of the dual screens she has in front of her, shows it to you. On that screen is a zoomed in map of the city, and there are two different locations that have been highlighted, pointed out in some manner. Maybe there's a kind of like a reddish outline around them so that they're highlighted. And she says, there are two possible locations, warehouses, where certain items that one of my, well, business associates, clientele, I should say, are looking to acquire for, well, for reasons of their own. I, of course, being an upstanding citizen of this beautiful city, I can't necessarily get directly involved as the, how to put this, the current owners of those items have refused previous advances for monetary compensation. So I'm looking for a third party, some independent contractors to liberate those items and bring them to my clients.
And what are we looking for?
Oh, you'll know it when you see it.
Right. I'm sure that there's a some sort of info dump or USB stick that we can look through and destroy after we've got all the info.
She will take up a little tablet. She will click a couple buttons, swipe it, and then any of the data pads or like cell phone style things that you carry on you, all of them go beep, 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 4 times, indicating that you've all received a data packet of some sort.
So
No, I wouldn't open that.
I'm going to say Cyprian's going to pull out the data pad with the sort of feign of going to go try and read it, but want to see if he can connect into any of the other systems to like find out if it has any like viruses or anything like that on it, and see what he
Ooh.
can
Give me a
find
tech
out.
roll. Let's make a tech roll. I like it. I like where your mind's at. DC 13. Ooh. So I want to describe this to you. They have really good security here. Like, I'm talking top level. They've got 4 different firewalls. They've got, front line, back line, mid line. This is the best defense you've ever seen as far as technical security. A fucking cakewalk for Cyprian. You're like, level 15? Oh my god. I did this when I was in grade school. He is a smart gentleman. So it takes you some time. It's not like it's going to be instantaneous. It does take you some time, but you are General Hackerman, as it were. Thank you, TNX. That's amazing. So you are able to get in. Now, my question to you, Cyprian, is what specifically are you looking for as far as information or whatnot? What are you looking for?
So she said that it was, a couple of business associates, if there's any leads as to who they might be.
Mhm.
And she said, oh, you'll know when you see it as to what exactly it is that we're looking for.
Beautiful. So you're not going to get this information right this second. It's going to take you, say, 2 to 3, maybe 4 minutes. So it's still pretty quick. You can act like you're reading the data packet she just sent. However,
yeah,
you come to find out that the associates she's referencing seem to be located on Kintaris 4. There is a name that is associated with those associates. It's Dasari. And the items that you happen to be looking for, well, weapons and ammunition. But Willow, you were discussing some terms with her, I believe.
I'll take out my pad and open it up and skim through it, and it has the information of a, in place. And does it say it's for weapons or like any?
It describes what you're looking for. It does not specifically say weapons. It just describes where the items will be, what the boxes look like, how
Yep.
many boxes there are, their weight, dimensions. Just like you'll know what you're looking for. Like there's some identifying marks on them, maybe a barcode you can scan to know it's what you're looking for, etc. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll skim through it and say, all right, it's a pretty standard smash and grab.
She nods.
Then Callum will lean in and say, "Well, we're mercenaries now. I think technically it's an objective raid."
Let's try not to bring up the fact that we're mercenaries. This isn't exactly legal.
Yeah, I don't think the MRB know anything about this job.
Well, oh well.
Well, seems like we have everything here as far as the mission goes, and I hate to bring up such a sour note to sour the negotiations, but you did say that we would be paid for this.
Well, of course you'll be paid for this. Your debt to me will be paid in full.
I do distinctly remember a C-bill amount as well.
Absolutely. The Sibyl amount that was your life, it will be cleared and your debt will be paid.
Yeah, I do remember there was a numerical amount attached to that in the message I received.
Absolutely. That numerical amount represented the amount that I considered your life to be worth. She gets very stern right now.
I'm just trying to hear it from you what that numerical amount was.
And she's going to say 1.5 million C-bills.
All right. I know better than to know when you're trying to double cross or when you're bluffing, and I know this is no bluff. Don't worry. We'll get this job done. We'll get it done professionally. And we'll call this sorted.
She will nod her head, smiling. And as she does so, and perhaps you all begin to turn to leave the room, she will say, "And Willow, if things go well, perhaps we can extend this relationship and, well, maybe I'll have some more jobs for you that might be a bit more lucrative than just one life."
Willow is going to turn around before he leaves, give her just a deadpan look, and then turn back around and exit the door.
And as you exit through the door, the last thing you're going to hear before the door will slide shut automatically behind you is her saying, "Oh, and Willow, perhaps you should visit your sister while you're in town." And then the door goes and shuts.
We should leave.
Am I the only one who thinks that we're not going to see a single C-bill out of this, and she's just going to say, "I've squared your debt. We're square. Go away"?
No, she'll pay. It's the reason I had her say it. There is an honor among thieves. Otherwise, well, something like this couldn't exist.
It's true. That's true. So we will zoom out to a front view of the capital of Robinson. And they're not very creative when it comes to names. So the capital of Robinson is Robinson City. So there you go. It's just, woo! It's one thing. I love BattleTech. They're amazing. But
Is the capital of George?
it is.
And
Georgetown. That's what it is. Yeah.
Georgetown.
Georgetown. There it is. So
Georgetown,
we zoom in
Georgington.
and we see a overview of the city and these different locations. I'm going to describe them to you. You've got really two main locations that these boxes, this information, this stuff might be located. There is a office building that has a sub-level basement. It's really kind of on like a main street, like a T intersection area. This office building apparently houses a some like low-level, just generic, like they do taxes and stuff there, but apparently these weapons are being moved through that office building. That is one of the pieces of information she provided to you. And then the other location is actually apparently a diner of some sort that also has a sub basement where apparently these weapons might be being held. The information is a week out of date based on what you found out. And Cyprian, I am going to give this to you because you did make a sweet tech roll. This information based on your in your kind of like investigation, your little hack, you still even can have that hack. You've done a little digging. This information did not come from the most reputable sources. And without putting any like thoughts into your head, you're getting the feeling like you guys might be guinea pigs. Like, that's the impression. Like, maybe as confident as Karina seemed in that moment, maybe she doesn't actually know where these things are and doesn't want to bother wasting her men. Maybe she's trying to use you guys as, well, as like search dogs, as it were. So I'm going to leave that information with you and let you guys discuss how you would like to proceed.
So Cyprian's going to pull the information up and then send it across. We had a finance person that worked in tax. What was it? Was it
William?
Yeah. He wants to ping that across to William on the Stropo and get him to run investigations on who owns these two buildings and like finance information, like where are they, what's the actual company of the shell company of the shell company of the shell company that actually owns these buildings. And also the building that we've just come out of.
I love it. So here's what we're going to go with. The building that you just came out of is owned by the Kendrick Kendrick Fraley Corporation is who that's owned by. And the two buildings that you are looking to get into is owned by the Zor Thomas Corporation.
Both of them.
Both of them. The building you came out of is owned by the different one. The buildings that you're looking into are owned by Zor Thomas. Now, you can do maybe a little bit of investigation into these two organizations and figure out who is who. But with that connection, you contact Willie. Willie's like, oh, yeah, absolutely. I can look that up. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so what was the address of the building again? All right, 354 Cardinal Street. Got it. Okay, that looks like based on... Hold on. All right, public records state that is owned by... Okay, that organization. And then, yeah, the other two buildings you just mentioned, those addresses, some corporation... Wow, this place... Holy shit. Does a little typing, you hear the clicky clacking. Yeah, it looks like... Shit, looks like Zor Thomas Corporation owns like half the city. Yeah, that building, the building next to it, the building after that. Yeah, but I can't find a parent company of them. I'm gonna be honest with you, Cyprian. This seems shady. I'll keep doing some research and I'll get back to you.
I'm going to ask him to find if there is like a public contact or office that you can like walk in and book a meeting with like their.
There is not.
I don't know. Oh. Okay. Shut that one down.
It's almost like they don't want to be found. Dun dun dun.
Well, did Cyprian share the weapon, the actual details of what we're looking for?
Not to date, but as we're stood outside, he will lead everybody to like a relatively quiet corner where there's not as many people crossing the road or whatever, and then ping them the information on their data pads and say, this looks shady as fuck.
Well, of course it's shady. It's for an illegal crime syndicate.
Yeah, but it also seems to be finding weapons and ammo for Disari on Kenteras.
So we could be supplying Ian or Duke Dressari if he's still alive. Well, Cyprian, you wanted to help Kentaris.
I'm not sure how I feel about this actually aligning with our overall goals. It makes it a little harder to stomach for some reason.
How so?
It's got to be an angle. She knows that we came from Kentaris. She knows that's where I was. She knows that's probably what we're doing out here. What's her game? What is our role in it?
Maybe we need to figure that out before we do anything.
We need to figure out where the thing that we're supposed to get is actually.
If it exists at all.
No, I'm sure it exists. There's a lot of weapons in the universe. But I don't know any way of figuring that out that doesn't rely on good old eyeballs, Mark 1 eyeballs.
I mean, I don't know much about being a crime lord, but she seems like she's got her angles covered. However this works out, she wins. Either we do the job for her and it gets done, or we likely all get killed in the process, and then she's finished with you forever.
If only it were that simple. So anyone got any ideas on how we can figure out where our product is? Besides going to those places and confirming with the old lookers?
No, I've never been to this planet before.
No,
As a
neither
matter of
have I.
fact, I only ever heard about it through Lawrence.
So would Lawrence have any idea as to what, like, is this being held at like an ammo depot or something like that? Like, would Lawrence know anything about where this is located?
So, elaborate. How do you think your character would know information? What would he know simply by just simple knowledge? Would he contact his father? What are we thinking?
I think he knows the capital city very well. I mean, he grew up in it. His father worked at Robinson Standard Battle Works, so he would have actually he would have had to go to school in Robinson. I think looking at Sarna, Robinson's capital city is Bueller.
Yeah, it's been renamed Robinson City, just FYI. Yeah, ever since the crime lords took over. Ever since the crime nations attacked. Maybe it is Bueller. I don't know. Good man. It's Bueller.
Yeah.
Bueller?
I was gonna make that
Bueller.
Bueller. Bueller. There we go.
Bueller.
I love it.
Bueller. But yeah, so he grew up in the capital. He would kind of know the major like sites like the back of his hand. I effectively think of it like if you've grown up in Brooklyn, you would know your way around New York City.
So give me what kind of knowledges do you have? You have like protocol.
I have protocol and perception.
Give us a protocol check.
All right.
Probably not gonna know this one. That was actually a really good roll on my dice. Ooh.
Nope. Yep, that's gonna be a 10.
I rolled a 6, a 5, and 2 4s.
6, 5, 2 4s.
Do you want to edge it?
Yeah, edge so that you re-roll everything.
Everything? I can do that. 14.
That's still really good.
What was your check? What'd you get?
Mine was just 10.
Just 10? Oof. So here's the good thing. Sometimes you fail forward. Based on your knowledge, weapons, these are mostly small arms, maybe some, like weapons, like maybe a couple rocket launchers that could be used to attack a mech, but these are mostly small arms. And Bueller, the planet of Robinson, is not necessarily known for small arms manufacturing. It's more known for big weapons, las cannons. You're looking at heavy lasers, medium lasers, talking AC-10s, 20s, LRM suites, things like that. Like, that's what the city and the capital is known for. So small arms moving through the city seems like your gut's telling you where the hell did they come from. The failure part is you have no idea. Like, that's not something that the city is mostly and commonly known for. Does that make sense?
Yep, that makes sense.
Cool. You're muted, Steve.
How big is this package that we're supposed to liberate?
There
gonna be pretty big.
there are several. You're gonna need a vehicle. You're gonna need a vehicle to get it out. Like probably a pack rat or something. Like the size. Like you're gonna need a big vehicle to get it out. There are dozen crates that you're looking for. Big crates. Take 2 or 3 of you to lift them.
Well, well, I think actually getting the product should be pretty easy. We just need to find where it is. We need to wait for a shipment of some sort, and then we can commandeer the shipment vehicle. We can move the product into the vehicle, and then we can leave.
Are we doing a stakeout?
We just need to find where the product is first. Anyone have any contacts here in Robinson? Willow will look over to Lawrence because he's the only one who's been here.
Outside of my father and my mother, not necessarily. I mean, I can check with some local friends, but they're not exactly important.
Yeah, I don't want to see if I can leverage any of my contacts. Most of them are almost certainly dead by now, and the ones that aren't, well, I'd rather not get involved.
You said one of them was a diner, right?
One of them is a diner, apparently.
Cyprian's going to suggest that maybe we go and grab some food in the diner, see what's what.
Go grab some food. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. So, is everyone in agreement that you guys can head off and go grab some food at a local diner?
Yeah, that seems the best course of action at this point.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So we are going to cut over to a different scene where you guys are going to be walking up to a diner. And this diner, it's your classic hole in the wall, corner of a street diner. All right, and it's called Larry's Diner. That's what it's called. Larry's Diner is the name of this diner, and it's got the greasy back kitchen. It's got the guy that's got like grease burns all over his hands, like a big tall Greek guy. There was a diner by me that was owned by this Greek family for the longest time. And like his hands were all burned up and stuff, and they made the best steak and eggs. I gotta tell you, they sold it to a different group, a different family. It's just not the same, but I digress. But we're gonna open with all of you walking up to this diner, and I'm gonna give you guys a couple of seconds here so that you can, maybe do some snooping, do what you want to do as you see fit, and yeah, let's take it away, gentlemen. How do you want to approach Larry's Diner, as it were?
I think before we go in, Callum wants to like sort of head around to this little alcove,
Yeah.
and take a look to see if, basically trying to see if there's a way to access the sub level that we've been told is here.
Yeah. So there is a back. You can tell that it looks like there are two different buildings, but I'm going to have you roll a perception of some sort if you have it. Like notice or something like that you have. And if not, I'll just have you roll a generic intelligence check. Or you tell me like what kind of skills do you have?
Well, if there's a sub level and there's cargo moving in and out, can I give you a tracking?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's fantastic. Go for it. I love that.
Okay.
Ooh, I rolled terrible. There you go.
I could roll bad too.
Maybe.
And it's the wrong one. What's my tracking?
Ooh. So here's the good news. The good news is that all the way back here, you notice that there appears to be a kind of like little office area. But that office area is not an office area, you're pretty sure, because you see telltale signs of scrape marks. I'm talking like the concrete here. You can see where things have been dragged. There's no reason that things would be dragged into an office that are this big. Things that leave those type of gouge marks in the concrete, they're big and heavy. Like, maybe big and heavy, like, weapons crates. Ooh. As it were.
Willow's gonna confidently walk in this room.
So that doorway is currently closed, and the windows are all blacked out.
Is it locked?
It is locked, yes.
Is there a buzzer?
There is a buzzer.
And he'll confidently buzz it.
Buzz, buzz.
No response.
Buzz it again. Buzz. Standing around, tapping his foot, looking impatient.
There is a response. But you won't.
I want to get in.
Well, who the fuck are you?
Willow, who are you? You Andy? Andy working?
Fuck off. Comm cuts
Okay.
off.
It hits the buzzer again. Bzz, 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 bzz.
Yo! I don't know who the fuck you think you are. This is a private business. Fuck off.
Listen, I've got some business. Listen, I just need to get in and talk to you. Talk to whoever's in charge.
Give me a streetwise.
Sure.
This is gonna be funny.
Hey, dear
Ooh.
wolf, re-roll those 2 6s.
Ah! No, come on, let me keep those 2 6s. No. Whoa!
Oh!
That is meter beat though, because that puts me at a 15. That means that Willow makes it. The guy on the other side says, "Weren't we waiting on somebody?" Yeah, but they didn't say his name was Willow. I don't know who the fuck Willow is. Well, maybe this is the guy. I'm telling you, there was a passphrase he's supposed to say. We didn't see the passphrase. Maybe he forgot. I don't know. Fuck. So finally, the door is going to click, 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 click. As the door opens, you see just inside there are 4 masked individuals that look kind of like paramilitary. And the one at the door just like opens it slightly and says, "Are you the guy we're supposed to be meeting?"
Who else is going to be trying to buzz in this door that hard?
Guy looks over his shoulder. Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. All right, cool. Yeah. Well, come on in, man. Come on in. Where's your armor?
Can you walk around the streets in full body armor? How? Come on, man.
It's actually a really good point. That makes sense. That's probably why he's the guy. Yeah, that is why he's the guy. Yeah, cool. All right, yeah. Well, we got everything set up. We got the weapon here. We got our firearms, small arms. The basement's been rigged to blow, so we are good to go on that. We're just waiting on the other guys to show up, and we can fuck them up. So yeah.
All right. So can you let me know where'd you got rigged? I don't want to walk into anything.
Oh yeah,
No,
no,
down
sorry.
here.
No problem. All right, and so he's gonna like roll out a map of the sub level, and it shows the map. It's like a 3D digital like holographic map, and it like pops up, and he shows it like, all right, well here's where the crates are located. We know that what the fuck was her name again? The Vul'e guys, yeah. So we've got a trap set up for her guys that are supposed to be coming here, and yeah, it's gonna be a fucking bloodbath. All of the explosive detonating, like this guy's like seems like he's like stuttering over his words because he's excited. He obviously you can tell he's kind of a little fucked up in the head, but he's like, yeah. So all of the claymores are set up to go towards the center. So when they get inside, it explodes, and it won't do too much damage to the basement. They'll probably have to do a little bit of remodeling. However, they are going to fucking get decimated. It's going to be beautiful. Anybody that survives will just get in there and fuck them up with small arms fire. We got a couple MP5s. We got a couple of let's see here. We got a couple of long arms if they start running. We got some hand grenades. We got that. But yeah, we are set to go. So just you give us the word, boss man, and we are lock, stock, 2 smoking barrels ready to go. Let's get after it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Are those explosives on a timer? You got a detonator?
Oh no! We got a detonator right here. Hey,
Right,
Jimmy.
He'll
Jimmy's like, I got it right here.
hold his hand out.
Yeah.
Detonator, please.
Oh man, I was hoping I could detonate.
Yep, you need more rank.
But come
Give me
on,
the
man.
detonator.
I never get to detonate.
And there's a reason for that.
Damn it. Give me negotiations. Or streetwise again.
They are the same, so it doesn't matter.
It's gonna be a little bit lower DC. You're gonna make it. Yeah. He's like, fine. Damn it. Billy, you said I could fucking do it this time. Johnny,
Listen,
maybe
it's not up
next
to
time.
Billy.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. All right. Yeah.
Don't take it on to Billy, take it on to me. It's
Yeah,
fine.
that's fair. All right. Cool. Yeah. So we are just waiting on your signal.
Yep.
Say the word, boss. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I need an earpiece. And he's gonna hand you an earpiece as well.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
And so there's like weapons along a rack on the wall. And
Yeah,
stuff?
they've got like this looks like not the weapons you're looking for. It looks like a staging area for an ambush that they've been getting ready to set up, and you've just willowed your way right into it, as is tradition. So
Yeah, so he'll look and go. So the one thing I'm not sure I understand.
Yeah.
Are the weapons actually down there? Because if you set up
oh
claymores,
no. You think the weapons are down there? No, wait, man. We don't. No. This is just like the whole like war thing between
Right,
the
right.
Vul'e.
Right.
That we
Yeah.
just we
I'm
got
sorry.
boss man got. I thought this was in the briefing, but no big deal, man. Yeah. So they just we're setting up a trap for them, and then we can pin. And we can be like, hey, fuck you. This is our city. You know how it is. Fucking gang wars. It's great.
Yeah. How's the other trap going in the office building?
Oh, yeah, we got a trap set up there for him as well. That's good. So I mean, honestly, there's gonna be some boom boom today. You know what I'm talking about, Billy, right, Billy? Yeah, he's like, Jimmy, I fucking just wanted to blow up one time. One time I want to blow somebody up, please, for the love of God. And he's like, it'll happen, man. It'll happen. You gotta get a little higher up in the organization, and then clicky click, right? Like this guy over here, like Willow. Like Willow's the man. Hey, yeah. I think I heard about you actually. Didn't you do the what was it? The Emerson job? Wasn't that you?
That's not constant.
Nice. That's see, this is why he's the man. This is why he is the man.
How many grenades are just on the rack?
Out. A dozen.
All right, yeah. Willow will go in. He will take a long rifle and a grenade.
Yeah.
And say, "All right, let me go out. I'm gonna trigger the explosives. I'll have you guys run out.
Yeah.
Wait for my signal.
Wait, are they down there already?
Wait for my signal.
Okay, yeah. Wait for the signal. You got it. Yeah.
And then he'll open the door, look both ways.
Yeah.
And they'll turn around and go, wait for my signal.
And they're all like,
Yep. So right before Willow will step outside, and right before he closes the door, he primes the grenade, rolls it in, closes the door, shoves the long rifle in the handle so they can't open it back up.
what the? Oh my god. Oh my god. All right. So imagine, if you will, the rest of you. I'm gonna actually cut to a scene because I think Cyprian was. We're gonna pause that. We're gonna pause that. Cyprian, I think you were walking into the diner. Is that correct?
Yeah, while all of that was going on, Cyprian was just literally
so
just gonna
Cyprian-
go and get some food.
Cyprian is going to walk into the diner, and like I said, it smells like your classic American greasy spoon diner. It smells like grease and butter and bacon and slightly burned eggs, but it's got that just like wholesome smell to it. It just smells like hearty, the day after you drank too much kind of food. It smells delightful. And you walk in, there's a gal working the counter. She looks a little rougher than perhaps a hostess should, but she's like, "Oh, welcome to Tom's. What can just table for one, or are you expecting company?"
Yeah, he'll be messing about on like his data pad
Yeah.
and just sort of casually just go, yeah, can I just get some bacon and fried bread and
Oh.
then go and sit
Yeah,
at the
absolutely.
table in this far corner.
Yeah, absolutely. Robbie. Yeah, bacon, fried eggs. Yep, just for one. All right, thanks. Yeah, it'll be right up, sir. Thanks for choosing Tom's for your dietary needs, as it were. Beautiful. And anything else you're doing, Cyprian?
No, I mean he suggested just going to get some
breakfast. I
food.
love
Like
it.
that's as far as his
I
knowledge
love
of
it.
this whole thing.
Absolutely love it. And what about Lawrence and Callum? You guys are outside. Maybe you saw Willow disappear into a door. You're not sure what that was.
I feel like when Callum came back out around the corner, Willow was already inside and the door was shut again.
Yeah.
So now he's over at Lawrence. Like, did you see? Where's Willow? Is he inside?
I think he got himself inside. I don't know if he talked his way in or if he just barged his way in, but given the lack of gunfire, I think he just talked his way in.
Gunfire. Lawrence, it's a diner.
Well, you never know. Are we? Shit, I'm sorry. I'm really
To be
hot right
fair,
now, so
I think that's fair with Willow. You
Dude.
never know.
Dude,
It's
Lawrence, you're good, man. Take your time. You're good, Anders.
But yeah, I think honestly, I probably would have followed Cyprian.
Yeah.
Or I would tend to go more for subtle observation
Yeah, get some
over
food, right?
just a charge in. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. So you head inside. You see Cyprian. He is sitting in the corner. He's waiting on his food. The lady at the front counter, she says, "Welcome to Tommy's. What can I get you?"
Just bacon and eggs, please.
Yeah,
And then
absolutely.
he will join. Actually, he won't join Cyprian. He will sit down at the counter.
I love it. At the counter. Right there at the counter. I love that. So we move you right over to the counter. Beautiful. And she'll lean over and say, "Hey, Robbie, bacon and eggs." Robbie's like, "Coming right up." And it's beautiful. And then we've got the good old Callum still outside scratching his head.
And he's gonna like start to retrace his steps like back to see if maybe he like just missed Willow around the corner. And I picture like as he gets to about there at the door, Willow's like coming out, like rolling the grenade in and just like jamming the the rifle in the door.
And what does your interaction look like in this moment?
Willow goes, "Time to run," and then we'll book it because he set the grenade on a
Just
1
run.
second prime.
So there is a 1 second delay as the two of you start to bolt. And I'd like you both to make a dexterity check. It's not going to be too difficult of a check. It's only an 11, but I need you guys to make a 2d6 plus reflex. Not dexterity, but reflex. See if you jump out of the way as from inside you hear, "What the f-?" And there is a massive explosion as not only that grenade, but all of the grenades inside that room, along with all of the ammo, along with all of the guns, all go off.
Ammunition explosion.
Good old Lawrence, you've just sat down at the bar. The lady looks at you, gives you a smile, and that back wall explodes, sending shards of wood and metal and brick and plaques about being the #1 restaurant in the city. I mean, it is just chaos. That little thing with their first dollar bill that they ever made when they opened, it just sends it. And I need you, thankfully, because of where Cyprian positioned himself, you don't need to. But Lawrence, I need you to make a reflex plus reflex save, and because you don't see it coming, it's going to be only a 7 because I rolled 2 1s and a 2 and a 3, and you are.
I have a question.
What's your total? You're muted.
14.
14. You managed to dive right out of the way. Willow, you had a question.
can I use Edge to reroll my dice?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I rolled boxcar or snake eyes.
You might want to re-roll those dice by spending an
Yeah.
edge. Yes.
That was okay. Good. Just wanted to double check. Let's
Snake Eyes is bad.
snake eyes is real bad.
It is not good.
It is a failure. in
Okay,
fact.
better.
There we go. Now we're good. Now we're good. Because the DC on that was an 11. So both of you just hoof, and the whole back part of that building just explodes, sending shards collapsing the wall. Sirens start to go off as emergency vehicles are notified that there's been an explosion in the city. It takes a minute or two for that to happen, but as that minute or two is passing, you all are starting to put yourselves back together, I suppose, as the rubble is clearing. The woman has been, well, you're not exactly sure. She is covered in rubble. Robbie
So
in the back
Cyprian-
area is like screaming, "Holy shit, what just happened?" Here's what's going to happen.
Cyprian
The
would have.
gas line. Go ahead, please, Cyprian.
I was going to say, as soon as the explosion, like Cyprian would have just pocketed his data pad, run over to Lawrence, and like picked him off the ground. Like, you okay? Cool.
Yeah,
Move
We
on.
gotta go. And you hear the guy from, "Holy shit, what the?" And then the gas that runs to the gas stove in there goes off as well. And cool guys don't look like explosions. You guys literally jump out, running away from this building as that whole building goes up in flames. I'm talking just kaboom, mini nuke style Fallout 4, just kaboom. And you're all just like, "Ah! Ah!" And everyone, I'm going to make you make a check. Everyone give me a 2d6 plus reflex check on this as well. I rolled a 19.
That's unfortunate.
That's really good.
I rolled boxcars and I only got an 18. One of you two with 2 edge should make him re-roll all
Yeah, you
all but the
can-
3.
You can re-roll. I'll spend one of my edge.
Yeah.
I will
I think the-
re-roll all of those probably, because
I
that
think you
was
should.
a 5-5, a 3, and a 6. You want me to roll
I mean-
the 5-5 and the 6?
Yeah.
All right. 13, 14, 15, 16. I still got a 16.
Yeah.
I still got a 16. So
That's real good.
who fails?
I mean, I do.
All right.
Although I'm
Anybody that,
outside.
I do.
anybody that fails, you are going to take 2 pips of damage. 2 pips. 2 pips of damage, as it were. And that's just from shrapnel and debris and hitting you. It's not like gonna kill you, but like you get like hit in the shoulder with like a fucking like brick or like a 2x4 that comes flying out. So not great.
Pass my con check, so I'm not unconscious.
That's good. That's good. And that building is now in flames. And you can hear sirens of medical and emergency personnel moving their way towards you guys. And I think that's a great moment to transition away from that battle screen because that building no longer exists. So that was a thing. As you all, I assume, quickly move away from that situation.
So on my
What
character
next?
sheet, am I just taking off the top 2 ticks on my physical?
Yes. Correct me if I'm wrong, Aaron, right?
Yeah, you're gonna fill the first row first. And then you have to. Oh wait, sorry, no, I failed my con check. I am unconscious.
So Callum's been knocked unconscious.
I have also been knocked unconscious.
Lawrence
unless
is
we add
knocked
something.
unconscious.
Yeah.
Who's still up is my question.
Willow
So-
did
if I-
not get hit.
So
Little
if I've filled the top 2 rows, I've got a con check at
Of
7 on
5.
2d6.
Well, no, you've gotta. If you fill the top 2 rows, you got a con check of 5
On 2d6.
Yep.
on 2d6. Yep, so you got to roll 5 or above.
Roll them bones.
Okay. So
2
yeah,
are conscious,
Cyprian's
2 are unconscious.
But for anybody for Cyprian specifically, you have a -2 penalty to all your checks. Basically, all your physical checks.
Oof.
Cool.
Well, that was a bigger explosion than I thought would happen.
So there's only me and Willow still up. Yeah.
Yep. And
So I'm going to grab whoever is the smallest because I have a strength of 1 and pick them up and berate Willow for being like, what happened to the whole subtle?
As you're berating Willow, you remember that device you had in your... I love that, Aaron. That's funny. You remember that device you had inside of your pocket? That
Oh, yeah.
trigger device? Yeah, you're pretty sure you accidentally hit that because there is another explosion, this time a little more muted because it's under the ground, as the building that's on fire then collapses on itself, falling into the sublevel.
It's listen, I never said that I do anything subtly, and it wasn't my idea to go subtly. I would just like to point that out. But we should probably get these two somewhere where the authorities won't question anyone.
That is very fair. You've got only a couple minutes before emergency
there a
services
vehi-
arrive.
Is there a vehicle like just a four-door saloon type car?
You know what? There's a lot of folks that have moved towards the building that's on fire, and there's a couple people that stepped out of their cars. If you want to go cold cock somebody and steal their car, who am I to stop you, as it were? In fact, maybe you could even spend a plot point that there is a vehicle.
I'm gonna I'll give you a plot point, and
I will take
he's
that
gonna
plot point.
he's gonna like prop up Callum like somewhere out of the way, and then go over to the guy and
Weekend at Bernie's. Just
and be like, "There's injured people over there. Quick, go and help them."
Oh yeah, come on, everyone, let's go help them. There's been an explosion. Oh, it looks like a gas one. Oh, let's go.
And then just jump in the car, shove Callum in the back, tell Willow to get in the back with Lawrence, and then set off driving.
Willow will throw Lawrence in the same door that Callum was thrown in, so I'm sure their heads will knock against each other as they hit the other side of the door to the car.
Clunk.
Man,
Oh,
good thing Lawrence always wears his helmet. Callum should really wear his helmet more often.
So as the four of you drive off, Callum and Lawrence unconscious in the back seat, where are you guys heading off to? What's the battle plan? What are Willow and Cyprian discussing? As unfortunately it seems Lawrence and Callum are currently unconscious for at least the next scene.
Cyprian will tell Willow, like, I told you to get in the back, go and wake them up, and he will be driving just straight down the road, like presumably past oncoming police and stuff like that. But he'll be driving like normally.
First of all, there's no way I'm getting in the back seat of a moving car from the front seat. And second of all, have you smelled Callum's feet? Not a chance.
Hilarious. Here's my question,
he'll be
Willow.
driving
Why have
normally,
you smelled his feet? That's what I'm saying. Like, what was the context that you got a whiff of his feet? All right, these are the questions I have for you.
listen, what happens on Canopus?
Oh, there it is. Whoa. That is hilarious. Dare I say hilarious. So where are you guys heading off to?
Cyprian has no idea. He's just driving calmly away from the scene of this ridiculous crime that's being committed. Calmly, straight down the road. We'll probably randomly turn left and right into traffic, and
We're just going Sunday driving.
Yeah.
So yeah, Willow will turn to Cyprian from the passenger seat and say, "All right, so your instincts were spot on. This something definitely wrong about this. There weren't any weapons in that pile of rubble. It was in fact
not now that you've exploded them all.
Oh, there weren't any weapons there before anyway. It was an ambush set up by, well, one of the two crime syndicates in this region of space. They must have fed them the data. That's what well, let's just say I'm not an explosives expert. I might have overestimated the amount of boom in that room.
The name of the organization in question, if you want to give me a streetwise, you might actually know who this organization. You maybe recognize the armor they were wearing. It looked a little more advanced than the last time you saw it, but oh yeah. You would recognize this as the Blue Rose Tribe. The Blue Rose Tribe. They are a small time, at least when you were part of the Vul'e, They were a small-time gang, very similar, kind of on similar status. And it appears that as the two gangs have risen in these different systems, they have kind of mirrored each other in strength. And at least in this city, it seems like they're kind of a 50-50 split between the two gangs. And it seems like there might be a new gang war brewing that a certain lady with orange and yellow hair may have just unintentionally gotten you involved with.
So it seems that there's potentially a new gang war starting. I may have accidentally started it, but it was probably going to start with our deaths or their deaths, and I'd rather it be their deaths.
Callum and Lawrence, in the back seat, you guys feel the car hit a bump, and you both wake up. Callum I think Lawrence is on top of Callum. You hear sirens in the distance.
Cyprian's going to suggest, like, okay, so are we going to the office block or?
No, that's
Why not?
another ambush. And probably no, although we could go in there and fuck them up too.
We have a meeting with that contact, Willow. We've got to go to that meeting and hear about this job.
Yes,
Cyprian's going to
Callum.
like
That's
lean
where
over
we're
and go,
going right now.
yeah, it's
All right.
fine. Willow has everything in hand, apparently.
Yeah, I always do.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, he's not going to do anything that gets anybody hurt. That's just not.
Certainly no innocent bystanders.
Hmm.
No one's innocent.
We got.
Listen, Callum,
What?
go back to sleep. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Lawrence, what do you do as you wake up?
Lawrence, I think Lawrence more just got like the wind knocked out of him, whereas Callum seemed to have gotten a concussion.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Lawrence is gonna like shoot right up and go, "What the fuck did you just do?"
Well, I blew up a room full of grenades.
Oh. Oh, that's all you did.
Well, there was a bunch of rifles and submachine guns that might have been an ammo explosion as
Good.
well.
Lawrence.
You
Lawrence.
think-
Lawrence. Lawrence.
What?
Shh. It's like
He will hand him.
it's lights out. Sarge is gonna be pissed.
He'll hand him a set of earplugs to help with his ringing ears and concussion, and he will just
Mop,
turn back to
Mop.
mop.
Mop. My tinnitus is really bad today for some reason.
Does anyone have an aspirin?
Do you
Or,
want
like,
a gang war? Because this is how you get a gang war.
oh boy.
So what was Lawrence berating Willow about?
He at this point is like
So good.
just fed up. He's gonna say, "Do you think before you do things?"
Yeah, I thought that was a great way of not getting ambushed and killed in the sub-basement of that enemy-held territory.
We could have just not gone into the basement.
Boy, I wish I was that Katrina Steiner was here. I'd give her a piece of my mind.
Yes, we all would, but
I don't know, I like this
now
new Callum. We should give him concussions more often.
Lawrence
No,
is
my
gonna
doctor says I'm not supposed to get any more concussions.
Oh,
Lawrence is
that's
gonna give
that's
him
concerning.
a sedative that's in his med pack so that Callum just falls asleep, and we'll tend to his inflamed traumatic brain issue later, but right now just needs to be quiet.
Deal with the CTE later.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Listen,
So
the only
good.
thing I didn't think through was how big an explosion it would be. I saw maybe a dozen grenades, and I thought one grenade's not that bad. Well, it's not that
And it-
bad times a dozen. And a couple of submachine guns and a couple dozen submachine guns and half a dozen rifles with assorted
And a
ammo.
gas line and apparently some more explosives in the basement. No, it's
Listen,
fine.
how would I supposed to know they're still running on gas and not switching to electric? I don't know the Robinson's still a backwards, system that uses gas.
First
Oh,
off,
and then the
gas
claymores in the
tastes
basement.
better. Second off, how do you are a mech warrior? How do you not know that a frag grenade clears a room and how a dozen of them would lead to a cleared house?
Well, that was kind of the point. It was
That's one. You better too much than too little.
Willow's gonna turn back in the passenger seat and pet Callum's head in the back of his head and say, "That's exactly right, Callum."
Don't touch me.
And he's just gonna keep doing it. That's right, Callum.
All right, fine.
But that was the point. There was 4 very heavily armed and armored people in there who really, really wanted to blow us up and then shoot us.
Fair point. You could have, instead of blowing up a room full of explosives, you could have said, I need to go get my friends or whatever, and then come out, get us, and then we ambushed them, instead of you just detonated a city block on my city.
It was 2 buildings. Don't overreact.
It was 2 buildings. Calm down.
Yeah. I only blew up 2 buildings.
More
Not a whole
emergency
building.
vehicles go by.
It's only a
Cyprian turns on the
tragedy.
radio, and it's like an explosion on 12th and Main has spread to other
Yes.
blocks of the city. Several buildings have been affected by the massive gas explosion. News at 11.
All right, maybe it was
Yeah.
a whole city block. Fair enough.
So you're probably saying kill 25, maybe 30 people? No, couldn't have been more than 23.
I don't know if Callum is talking about what's going on right now or if we're learning something about him suddenly.
Can I check his pupils? Are they dilated at different rates?
Yes. It's bad.
Ew.
He also has Z's appearing above his
Oh,
head. It
yes,
might be.
my-
It might be serious.
And cartoon X's on his eye.
Yeah, cartoon
All right. That may have been a little bit overkill, but there was extenuating circumstances where they thought I was their boss and they weren't expecting anyone else to show up. And, I had to make sure that you guys didn't get hurt. That was my priority.
You did a fantastic job.
Listen,
He will find a piece of wood that just managed to embed itself between his black armor.
Yeah.
And just say, I have been staked and Callum has a concussion.
It's better than
Callum's
getting shot.
drooling ever so slightly, just a little bit of drool coming out of
And
Listen, it's better than getting shot, and that's not a stake. That's just a big splinter. Don't be a baby.
so he said, if you want to find that money, you come here, because I don't know where it is. Baloney.
Well, now I am hurt, and I don't think Callum is very combat effective.
Florence,
right now.
no, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I didn't mean
It's okay. It's okay, Callum.
You're my friend.
You're a friend.
I'm
So
sorry.
Just take this white pill, and I'll forgive you. How about that? And
No,
it's
see, you told me before not to take anything that I don't know what it is from people.
it's
It's candy.
I'll tell him what it is. It's a sleep. It's some. I'll tell him the chemical name
Okay,
that he
so
won't know.
all right. Joke's on you. I know exactly what that is. And um this could be the concussion talking, but I don't think it's a good idea for me to go back to sleep.
Actually, would
The-
I know what to do in a
the-
concussion? I
the
have
doctor-
med
They
tech,
should
so-
not be sleeping. They
the
should be staying
doctor-
awake.
The doctor
All right.
said, well, the first thing the doctor said to me was, you should not get any more concussions. And the second thing that he said was, if you do, stay awake and try to stay talking. So we should talk about something more interesting than some explosion that happened like 3 days ago.
It was about 3 minutes ago.
No, it was 3 days ago. Why are you bringing this back up? I thought we settled this already.
We have not settled this.
I don't know. It seems pretty settled
I
from
will-
Callum's point of view.
Cyprian's gonna like bang his hands on the steering wheel.
Callum's POV is at right now. He's seeing 5 hands.
That might be true, but
How
you don't
you
need
do-
to see to think.
How are you doing that?
Magic.
Wow.
Need I remind everyone that we have one more location to hit, right?
Which is also an ambush, by the way.
Well, you know
Great.
what? Let's. Yeah, Callum's like gonna try to pull his gun off his chest and be like, "I'll show him."
Push this.
Willow will absolutely spin around from his satchel and go, no, it's okay, it's okay. And he'll
Wait,
make sure
wait.
he's buckled back in.
You said it was an ambush. We gotta shoot our way out.
No, we're walking into one, not in one yet.
Oh, you know the best idea. So, where is the ambush?
Yeah, where are they planning to hit us from?
Because
I'm
if
not-
it's like that weird, stupid tax building, I hate taxes. I say we get the mechs and just walk through it.
You know, somehow I think that'd be less collateral damage than what I did. I think Callum's onto something.
Big brain
I'm
energy.
telling you, I'll just get in the hellhound and I'll just walk right through it. I'll be like, it's deductible.
I like this new Callum. He's very funny.
Fantastic.
Callum, how many concussions did your doctor say you were allowed to have?
Hmm. Well, I mean, he never really encouraged me to get any. But in the course of, getting shot at by the clans, I got hit in the head with a big piece of concrete, apparently. And he said probably wasn't a good idea for me to get any more because I could get a brain injury.
Well, I can tell
But-
you at least the piece of concrete this time wasn't that big.
Okay.
More emergency vehicles go by.
Who said that?
I think Cyprian's gonna ask Lawrence like if he knows somewhere that we can lay low for a while and come up with an actual plan rather than just driving like around the city.
What?
Like some goddamn arson.
I would say that we should go to the Robinson Standard Battle Works because they will definitely have some place where if a worker falls off the gantry, they would have the ability to fix them up. So we should get
Oh,
there.
yeah.
So that we can get
Your
treated.
dad would be there, and if you show up and you're like, "Hey, my buddy's hurt," he'll be like, "Yeah, son, I got you."
Yeah.
For sure.
So I'm
We should
gonna-
also try to figure out what exactly is going on here, because clearly the data that we've been fed is, well, it's shit data.
Hey, hang on a second. Willow, Cyprian, whose car is this?
Callum, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Just worry about not getting a brain injury.
Did you guys steal a car?
No,
Oh,
Cyprian stole a car. I'm an accomplice.
okay.
Yeah, so now I'm a getaway driver for an arsonist and a
There was no
concussed person,
fire
and just
intentionally. I'm
No,
not an
not.
arsonist.
He's not an arsonist. He's a bomber.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's better or worse.
I think legally it's technically worse.
This is technically, like, by law, it's worse. Yeah, I think it might be worse.
Yeah.
You must have professional pride.
Oh,
Lord have mercy.
Cyprian will look around because presumably there'll be some sort of street signs guiding me in the right direction, and he has navigation and investigation as skills. So
Oh yeah,
he's
you're
gonna-
able to know.
Nice.
You can
Yeah.
tell where. And, you know, I think
Exactly
I think it would actually be convenient that, you know what, you've reached kind of near the edge of the city. You've been driving for a while, and you happen to be on the road that leads to none other than, well, where dear old dad for Lawrence lives or works. And it's like late afternoon, so he's probably still working right now. And he did ask you to come visit him. Probably not under this context, but it's convenient. So as you drive off, you are able to arrive, and it's not just like a drive up and you can get in there. I mean, there are some security checkpoints. How would you get through, Lawrence, is my question.
I will give them the credentials of my father and say that he is expecting to meet with a representative from see. Yeah, he'll just say that he's expecting to meet a representative for a mercenary contract under the MRB. You know, standard mumbo jumbo. They would recognize it, and they get like about 7 visitors a day requesting
Yeah.
this.
So you could actually, I mean, if you wanted, you could just be like Everheart's sons. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Yep.
I like that.
Mm.
All right, and so you will make your way through the checkpoint. No real issues whatsoever. In fact, it goes super smooth. And you're able to find it's a pretty big parking lot. It's pretty full. But imagine, if you will, like an automotive factory is kind of what this looks like. But, you know, they build mech parts and maybe mechs here from time to time. And you're able to go inside. There's a nice little waiting room. It's all very rustic. And when I mean rustic, it's not like an office, like the black and white smoothness of the Vul'e building, but it's, you know, it's nice. And there's a gentleman working the front counter, like a host person, secretary, front counter guy. He's like, "Oh yeah, absolutely. Wait, Lawrence, is that you? Holy shit, you've gotten old!" And you actually would recognize him if you spent some time here in your youth. And this guy's apparently been working here at the front counter for, you know, like one of the security guys for the last like 25 years plus, right? You have a little moment. And then your dad walks out, and your dad is a gentleman, which we have seen before. Let me go ahead and grab him. Hold on 1 second. Where did he go? Civilians. Contacts. There we go. Mr. Robert Weather. And he sees you. He sees the shaky looking Callum. He sees you with a fucking like bandage around your side. And he goes, "Son, it's really good to see you, but just follow me. Let's head to medical." And he's gonna lead you off to their medical bay. They have an on-site medical bay. Get you hooked up with one of the doctors, and as Callum,
Yeah, Lawrence will kind of like push the doctor away and say, "Focus on Callum. He's suffered a concussion. I'm not suffering. I've checked for internal bleeding because Lawrence is effectively a medic. Like he had, well, my hands are disappeared. I quoted there, air quotes.
I love it.
He has some med tech, so he would have been able to just like tell, okay, nothing's punctured, lungs are fine, breathing's fine,
Yeah.
bleeding is fine.
Okay.
He would have been able to. He's more concerned about the CTE going on.
Yeah,
Than he is
absolutely.
about
They're gonna
anything
do
with
some
him.
scans on Callum. You know, people get bumped heads and concussions here all the time. Big metal parts moving around and all that. But I'd like to have a scene here with Cyprian, Willow. Callum is close by, but it's mainly focused here on Lawrence and his father. And he's a pretty jovial guy. You know, he's always supported you in whatever decision you've made. He encourages you to, seek Mechwarrior training versus like working in a factory. Like he wanted you to do what you want to do. He's always been very supportive. Kind of maybe a little bit of a difference between Cyprian's father being a little bit more stern and forcing him, but he's like, son, I've never questioned your decisions. I've helped try to guide you to what I thought would be best for you, but I've always supported you. What the hell is going on, and what have you gotten yourself into?
Well, currently I'm working with this mercenary company, and currently we're working for a contract that involves arms dealers on the planet, and it's seedy dealings, but it pays well.
Your father's expression turns a bit sour. Arms contracts in this city? Please tell me you're not working for the Vul'e.
We're not
I
working
will-
for the Vul'e.
He narrows his eyes at Willow.
How, given that, should I roll perception to tell if Willow is lying?
Oh,
Willow's lying through his teeth.
Willow's lying through his goddamn teeth. You know that.
Alright.
You know that. You know we're working for the Vul'e.
Well, if it's weapons dealing and it's in this city, it's either the Blue Rose Gang or the Vul'e. And I hope if you have to be working with anyone, it's the Blue Rose Gang, not those monsters, the Vul'e.
We're trying to make sure that the arms dealing is a little curbed.
I'm going to need you to elaborate.
Well, our ultimate goal is to make sure that at least some of the small arms that is funneled through this planet is, well, blocked. Made more difficult.
Look, I know my son has a heart of gold and would do things for the right reasons, but I don't know you other three. Why? Why would you want to do this? Why would you want to curb, to use your own words?
Cyprian will step forward and introduce himself, like quite politely, and Cyprian Devon of the Devon family.
Robert Weber, Lawrence Weber's father.
And he'll then look to Willow to like introduce himself properly, but Willow probably isn't used to normal situations of introducing himself without hand grenades.
It was one time!
It was a very explosive entrance.
Hey.
I'm Willow. Trust me when I say that you might dislike the Vul'e. You might think they're monsters, and you're right. So when I say that the way that you feel about them couldn't escape the atmosphere of this planet compared to how much I truly hate that organization. Trust me when I say that.
Give me negotiations. Oh, yeah. His expression, which was a bit sour, a bit narrow-eyed, almost distrusting, turns a little softer. They hurt you at some point, didn't they?
You could say that. It's a bit of an understatement, but you could say that.
He turns to Lawrence, his son. These are your colleagues, your friends? Is that right?
They are my lancemates and my comrades. Yeah.
I don't know them. But I trust you. If you think whatever you're doing is the right thing, then I'll do whatever I can to help.
Well, right now we don't need much. We just need to get Callum set up right and back into fitness, and then we'll be able to proceed carefully. We just were right next to that explosion that happens. They think
Explosion? What explosion?
There's a new gang war about to start.
Fuck. You mentioned something about small arms, is that right? Kind of shakes his head back and forth, like he's maybe about to give you some information, but he also seems a little hesitant to do so. He finally breaks. There's an old warehouse. It actually used to be a part of the manufacturing here, but things got a little slow. We didn't need it anymore, so we shut it down. There's been some rumors that it's been used as a location for illicit substances, materials, goods, sometimes even people to move through. No one tends to go out there, and no one tends to come from there. But with those two large gangs in this city, if this supplies that you happen to be looking for is anywhere, I bet you it's there.
Do you know who controls that warehouse? I know officially it's probably still under the jurisdiction of this company, but
Like I said, no one really goes in, no one goes out, but folks say that certain drugs keep coming into the city, certain people keep disappearing, weapons from God only knows where, and the only place that's close enough that could house that many drugs, that size of supplies and illicit substances, let's just say if I was to do it, that's where I'd keep it.
Cyprian's going to extend his hand and shake the man's hand, and
Man will
say,
shake your hand as well. It's a nice firm handshake, a trusting
and he'll-
handshake. Yeah.
he'll say, thank you for the information. We'll be sure to put it to good use, and rest assured that we will do whatever we can to bring order to this whole debacle.
I like that.
Lawrence will just say, "Is it 29D?"
Your dad will look over and say, yeah, it is.
I know it. We won't have to ask for plans then. He'll grab a piece of architecture paper and then just do like a rough sketch out of the layout of the warehouse, because he's been to it before. It's where they used to store, let's say, Black Knights. That's where they used to actually build them up there.
I like that. It's beautiful. Absolutely.
Does he put 4 little stick figures of us like going in there?
you know,
No, not yet. But
Lawrence, you
that
can't
will
draw.
become part of it.
Lawrence, you can't draw mechs for shit, but you have an excellent hand at architecture.
That's good. That's good. I like that. And it's going to take a couple of days for Callum to heal up. You'll need to kind of lay low for a few days for Callum to be even close to being ready. And I'm going to be honest, because I didn't expect you guys to blow up a building, which I should have. I actually think this is a good point to kind of pause this action, because I kind of planned for this to be like a 2 to 3 parter. And I think this is actually a really good moment to give you guys a couple days. You heal up, you can maybe do a little bit of research, figure out where this building is, maybe go scout it out, etc. But I think that would be a really great place to pick up during session 12 next week. Wait, we're not playing next week, or we are playing next week?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good next week. It's just the week after that.
Perfect. So I think I'd like to then kind of complete this part. I think we'll be able to get through it next week, figure out what's going on with these gang war between the Blue Rose gang and the Vul'e, and maybe find these supplies and figure out what the hell's going on. But I thought you guys did an absolute fantastic job today. Willow, Chaos Goblin, as always, beautiful. I want to thank all our viewers. I want to thank TNX. I want to thank everybody for just being super active in the chat today. It was super fun to see you guys posting, and it sounds like you were enjoying it. That's all that really matters. Let's talk turkey, as is tradition. Let's talk turkey. I think that for showing up as one, I think that we had our first scene with a certain Vul'e leader. We had the diner. We had you guys driving around. I think 4. I think 4 is a good amount for today's session. And Callum, I'm glad you're not dead. So there you go.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
I mean,
That's a good thing. Yeah.
Good.
But as I always say at the end of every session, thank you so much to the players for playing. Thank you to the viewers for viewing. And happy gaming, everybody. We'll see you next Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern for Session 12 of Mechwarrior Destiny, Salvaged Destiny. And until then, stay safe, Mech Warriors. Cheers.